Okay, that's a no. All right, so let's review what we've already covered. So, first essential, empty, lively, pushing up, and energetic. So, what does that mean to you?
Bend the head and raise the spirit.
I'm sorry, what?
Suspend the head and raise the spirit.
Okay, and how do you raise your spirit?
Your eyes.
I show it through my eyes,
Your
but
eyes.
that's
Yeah.
not how I do it.
Okay. Okay.
Looking in the horizon. Horizon.
Yes. Yes. So, the moment our head goes down like this, it's hard for us to show our spirit. So, just remind yourself that this is your vehicle and you are driving it, okay? So, don't look down. If you look down, then remind me not to get in the car with you, okay? All right. So, what else does the first essential mean to you?
For me, it also means, like getting having my, I guess you call it chi, forward or centered in my stomach and breathing relaxed, my stomach relaxed to the, and I don't do that every single minute, but I think about that, especially when I am looking straight ahead. And when I'm focused on the horizon, I think more clearly about being a little bit distance from what I'm doing. I'm not worried as much about every little thing. And I'm more relaxed overall, I'm finding, and letting my tailbone drop a little bit.
Okay.
So that helps me.
So how do we keep our chi down?
Being
Belly
natural at
breathing.
all times.
Like dropping our shoulders.
No, this is just the first essential we're talking about. How do we sync
Belly
our chi?
breathing.
I'm sorry?
Our
Belly
head.
breathing.
Breathing, yeah.
Yeah, with our breathing, abdominal breathing, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. All right. So we do our belly breathing and we raise our spirits by being aware of our surroundings, right? So head up, everything else is suspended down. This also helps the other essentials that apply to the body become effective. So, okay. Shoulders and elbows down, pretty self explanatory. What's the benefit of doing that?
You
Well,
keep
you're
your
more
chi
flexible.
down, your
Chi down.
tension looser.
Okay. Relaxes, we remove the tension, right? Okay.
You can move your waist better.
Right.
Oh, okay. All right. So it allows us to become more flexible. Okay.
And more connected.
Okay. And being connected, or we use the word relaxed, right?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Holding the chest, sinking the chest, rounding the back. What does that do for us?
Allows your
Allows.
upper body chi to drop into your dantian.
Okay. Anything else?
To maintain connection and relaxation.
Okay.
It allows the energy between one arm and
I'm
the
sorry, my
neck.
dogs are going crazy here. I'm sorry. It allows what, Marion?
It allows the energy to flow through your arm from one side to the other
Okay.
when you're
Connected.
yeah.
Okay. Being connected. Okay.
I mean
All right.
freely, more freely,
Okay. Anything else?
And it keeps our chi lowered.
Yes. Okay.
No.
Anything else? Okay. All right. So relaxing the waist. What does that mean? How do you do that?
Breathe.
Breathing.
Relax our tailbone down.
Drop the tailbone.
Okay. All right. So when you say drop the tailbone, how would you give, what example would you give? How would you show that? Because we can drop the tailbone like this,
Right.
right?
Right.
Okay. Is this the right body posture we want?
No.
No.
No? Okay. So dropping the tailbone is not necessarily what it is that we're doing, right? Well, we are doing that, But how can you show somebody or explain to somebody how to get that tailbone down?
I would call it relaxing that part of like let it fall, actually, more than try to bend it or sit, for example. You know,
Okay.
bend your knees and relax the tailbone.
If you fold in front a little bit and you drop your tailbone, it's like you're up against a wall, so you know how much you want to drop.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So we know that every time we go to sit in a chair, we drop that tailbone, right?
Right.
Okay. So we know then that when the head is lifted and the shoulders and elbows are down, we're able to sink the chest round the back, okay? And then what we want also is to straighten the spine. That's what we want. We want to take that natural curve out of the spine. So yeah, like Shelley said, if you stand up against a wall, you'll immediately notice you can get, your hand through, but when you relax your waist, then it pushes the spine against the wall more. It's kind of like laying flat on the floor, so that then the spine is straight. And when we tuck in the tailbone, sometimes that can create an incorrect body shape. So we have to be kind of careful about that. So we want to make sure that we fold from the front hip forward and just kind of allow the lower back to just kind of drop a little bit, okay? All right, last week we talked about separating empty and full. So we know that empty and full not only has to do about weight, but it also has to do about energy, right? So how do you interpret separating empty and full?
I think of the slinky image quite a bit. And I also think of pouring water from one vessel to the other, like the same amount. So what I try to think more about that's like give it and receive it concept, when you pour your energy into, say, the well of your foot, and then as you move back, you try to receive it at the same time. So if my hips are, arched properly or bowed, or then there seems to be a more natural feeling or flow for that, and that helps me to think of it that way.
Okay.
And when you're empty and full, you can move almost like a cat, I think is one of the things you said, is that, and that you can respond to the energy coming towards you. You can adapt to it much easier.
Okay. Anything else?
I think of the Yin and Yang, the symbol of Tai Chi, and just the movement going down and around, but you're moving all together as one. Even though it's empty and full, it's still one piece as a whole.
That's really good. I like that.
Connect and flow.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so we know it's not just about weight; it's also about energy. So we want to make sure that we are agile, that we are flexible, and that we don't become what's considered double weighted. Right? When you're double weighted, then you can't move your feet very easily. So that could be a problem.
You don't want to be turgid. Nobody wants to be turgid, right? So.
Okay. Okay. All right. Anything else?
You should always be able to lift both of your feet wherever you're at.
Okay, repeat that again, Shelley.
Well, you need to be able to lift your foot. I mean, that tells you you're balanced correctly.
Yes. Okay.
You're laughing.
Well, because I'm trying to come up with an example. Okay, so I can go like this, right? Does that show that I'm balanced, that my empty and full is correct? Okay, I can go like this. Does it mean that my empty and full is correct?
No, but if you like in a end of a form, finish a form and wherever you land, when you land, and you've got, 30, 70, 40, 60, whatever, you still should be able to lift your foot up.
In our end posture you're talking about?
Yes.
That is incorrect.
Oh,
Both
good.
feet at our end posture, both of your feet, if you're in a bow stance, should be on the floor.
Right.
That's key. Both feet should be on the floor. So if I'm in an empty stance, in order to take the 30% off, I've got to take the 30% off. Right? I have to shift my weight back to the back foot so that I can absorb then the remaining amount that was in the front foot. So we know then that when we step out, we are able to step out and pick up our foot before we commit to actually stepping, right? But once you do step, we are committed. So when let's say for instance, I go into a bow stance, there's no way that I'm able to lift up my feet off the floor. Both of your feet should be, your whole foot should be on the floor. With the emphasis of, the bubbling well, kind of pushing in or suctioning into the ground. So make sure that you are showing empty and full. And just like John said, they transfer. It's like the slinky, like Marion said, it goes from one to the other, right? It's a constant, yeah.
We
Okay.
clarified that a little bit though. Like, so you had said it was incorrect that you don't have both feet on the floor. But if you go into, the empty stance, you don't usually put your whole foot on the floor.
Right. Right.
But your foot is on the floor for the most part, except for Golden Rooster.
So when you're in a bow stance, in your end posture, both of your feet should be firmly planted on the floor. In an empty stance, whether it be the ball or the heel, there should be no way, unless you shift your weight back, that your front foot can easily lift off the floor. Okay?
So you're saying the point is that your weight is always centered. So
No, I wouldn't say our weight is centered. What I would say is that we are centered and that our legs then are distributing the weight. Okay, so in a bow stance we say 60-40, right? In an empty stance we say 70-30. So before I step out, I've got 100% here, just like when we're standing up before we kick. I have 100%. But before I commit to this step, I should be able to pick up my foot. But once I commit, once I start assigning weight, then there should be no way to pick up that foot unless I shift the weight off or I shift the weight forward.
To do whatever.
So the empty and full is in the transition.
That's true.
Right.
Okay.
That's a good point.
And Nancy,
Yes?
what if when you're standing to kick, and then it seems to me there's energy going in the kick. So how does the energy flow then? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do know what you mean, because there's a thing called yin and yang, right? And they go from one to the other. Now, when we kick, that does not say that we are no longer fixed on the floor when we kick. But when we kick, this becomes the energy here. Okay? But then when we come back, then we're still here on the supporting leg. So when you go to kick, that then becomes the yang energy.
Wait, why is that the yang?
Yeah.
Gosh.
It's complicated.
Okay, what does yin versus yang? I mean, I don't mean like together, but what does yin mean and what does yang mean?
Okay, all right, so let me back up a bit. When we talk about, okay, now we're into the essentials that have to do with our mind and our energy. Okay, so empty and full not only has to do with weight, but it also has to do with how we deliver energy. For instance, whenever we go to strike, okay, then that then becomes the dominant part. Okay, so we go from yin to yang. All
So
right.
yin is like receiving and yang is like delivering or in or
Yes,
out.
you could think of it like that.
Yeah.
Or we could say we store and then we release. When you store, that's yin. When you release, that's yang.
So it's not plus or minus, it's coming or going or.
Yes. It's like you push on the accelerator or you push on the brake. You cannot do both at the same time, right? Because
Right.
then you have a problem.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
storing.
yes. So when this is really actually a very good question, John. When we stand up to kick, when we're preparing to kick, now this leg has all the support. Okay? It's supporting everything. But when I go to kick, now the energy is here. Kick. Kick. And when I kick, that becomes the yang because I'm issuing energy out. So when we issue energy out, then we think of energy being released versus being stored. So it's kind of like holding your breath in is storing, and when you breathe out, that's releasing. So in external martial arts, you will noticeably find that when you pass by a dojo, you will hear them yelling, ha, okay, ha, ha, okay, because they're training their body, their mind, their energy, that when they go to release the energy, there's a sound that goes with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Dee Dee used to do judo. Did you make those noises, Dee Dee?
No,
No?
but it was also closer to an internal art.
Well,
The ideal was to be like a coat that somebody was wearing that they could never find you.
Yes. So what I'd like you to try, if we just think about energy, all right, and the release of energy. Go ahead and stand up. Okay. And get into this posture, like you're ready to strike. Yep, there you go, Veronica. That looks really good. Okay. Now, when you go to strike, breathe in. Go. Breathe in.
No, can't do that. In?
Breathe in. Breathe in.
We don't want to do that.
Doesn't work.
Will not work. Okay. Now try it again. And breathe out.
Ha!
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the difference. One will work and one won't. So when we talk about energy, then you can kind of think of it like this, because when we release our energy, then we usually breathe out, right? Because otherwise it's just not going to work. Okay. Any other questions?
Nope.
Okay. All right. So let's go on. So all the rest of the essentials that we're going to be covering, the first four have to do with our body and our spirit. All the rest have to do with our mind and our energy. So we want our mind centered and stable. We're not showing happy or sad, glad, happy, mad, sad, or any of those, okay? We want to stay in the middle so that we can go one way or the other, okay? Energy, this has to do with the mind, okay? So we want our minds centered and stable, all right? Energy, we want our energy to adapt or to conform. And we want to apply soft and hard, or yin and yang, okay? Did any of you get the opportunity to watch that movie, Fist of Legend? Okay. You cannot find it?
I didn't. Oh,
Okay. Maybe Netflix?
I'll try it.
Maybe Hulu? I don't know. I'll have Michael look after class, or maybe he can look now, and we'll see where we can find it. But anyway, the biggest thing that came out of the movie at the end was that the Shotokan Karate, Mr. Funakoshi, was teaching Jet Li that he had to be able to adapt to his opponent. That's Tai Chi.
Right.
We adapt, okay? All right. So the next essential we're going to look at is synchronizing upper and lower body. This one probably is, for me, the easiest one to do. Why? Because it has to do with, the bottom line is, it has to do with timing. Okay, so this is synchronized upper and lower body. Okay, so here's how it's explained in the document. In the Tai Chi classics, synchronized upper and lower body is expressed as with its root in the foot, emitting from the leg, governed by the waist, manifesting in the hands and fingers, from feet to legs to waist, complete everything in one impulse. Okay, this also goes with breathing. Okay, literally one chi, so we don't separate. This could also be rendered as one breath. When hands move, the waist moves and legs move, and the gaze moves along with them. Only then can we say the upper and lower body are synchronized. If one part doesn't move, then it is not coordinated with the rest. Okay, so I want you to think of lower, middle, upper body.
Right.
Okay? It's about coordinating our feet, our body, and our hand techniques together. For me, this is all about timing. Timing that we have throughout the form. Now, the timing that we have throughout the form is what?
Slow, even.
Continuous.
Okay.
Mindfulness.
I'm sorry, Miss Rebecca?
Mindfulness.
Mindfulness, okay.
Everything arrives at once.
Okay, what does that mean, Miss Rita?
What?
What is our timing throughout the whole form? Yes, everything arrives at once, but there's a timing that we have, right? Do you know what that is?
Energy be in the middle.
Slow and
Not
even.
3/4 time.
When our arms close, we step.
Oh.
When our arms close, we step. Okay? All right, so that's the first timing. Now, what Rita's talking about is a bigger picture. The bigger picture is everything starts and ends at the same time. For instance, I'm going to break the rule right now. Here's breaking the rule.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay, so we know that we don't want to break the rule because then, the masters in heaven cry. All right, so we need to pay attention to what is your timing. When our arms close, are you stepping? Are you doing this at the same time? Are you doing this at the same time? Or are you going forward and then doing your arms? Okay? So everything starts and ends at the same time. So sometimes that means that our lower body needs to go maybe a little bit slower, a little bit more mindful of how we're shifting our weight versus not. Okay? So the thought that I want you to carry with you from today about this specific essential is that the timing throughout the form is when our arms close, we step. When we get to the end posture of the movement, our arms, our legs, our feet arrive at the same time. Everything moves as one unit. So, and the other component is that we don't do this. When my arms close, I step. Then I move to the and.
Yeah.
We know that's breaking the rule, right? So from here we know that we need to rotate, circle back, Arms closed, step, move, 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 move. Okay? One of the biggest flaws that some students have when they're doing knee brushes is they'll do it like this. Let's see if you guys can see. Okay. Watch my front foot. Okay? They'll do it like this. Did you see it?
Do it again.
I'll do it again. Okay, from here. Watch. I'm breaking the rule.
You stepped too soon.
Did I step too soon? Really?
Mm-hmm.
Your foot, you did your foot part too soon.
Okay.
Well, your foot
Maybe,
wasn't.
maybe you should
still
do it
ball.
again.
It wasn't still ball toe.
Back.
Okay. So let's see. I'll do it this direction. Okay. Here, watch. I'm going to break the rule.
Oh, no. No, you stepped way too soon.
I stepped way too soon.
With the heel ball toe too, you did that too soon.
All right. So if you're doing it like that, what I'm going to say to you is that you're holding back your energy.
Yeah, that's a good description of what the
Okay,
body looks
from
like.
here
Upper
to
body.
here, see how I'm just putting my foot down, but I'm
Yeah.
not motioning forward?
Right.
Okay, I'm holding back. So what we want you to do is step, move, 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 finish.
Yes.
Okay, so if you're moving as one whole unit, make sure you are not disconnecting yourself.
Yeah.
I see this happen.
Cheryl see me.
What was that?
Somebody's grinding nuts.
I'm sorry, Nancy. I was going to answer your question and unmuted myself. I'm very sorry.
That's okay. That's all right. Were you grinding some nuts?
I'm sawing staples off of an ottoman. I'm very, very sorry.
All right. That's almost as good. Okay. So,
I'm learning and working. I'm so sorry.
no. So what did you want to share, Miss Cheryl?
Oh, I was just going to mention the timing of your weight moving forward. Once you stepped out, you held all the weight back and then distributed it just for the strike instead of like continuously as you were opening and striking.
Yes. So it's kind of like, I'll give you an example of the water hose. You know, the hose that we water with. Is that what you call it with? A hose? Okay. Okay, what happens when we crimp off that hose? We know that energy's building, right? Because we could feel the pressure, but a little still's dripping, right? But then what happens then when we let it go? It's like, right? So we don't want to be that gush, which is this. Put my foot down. Now gush forward, all right? So we don't want to do that. We want everything to maintain its flow. Okay, so when we synchronize upper and lower body, I want you to kind of pay attention to what it is that your lower body's doing along with your middle body and your upper body. Are they moving continuously? Are they moving as one unit? Okay, so it said here, with its root in the foot, emitting from the leg, governed by the waist, manifested in the hands and fingers. From feet to legs to waist to the hands, everything is in one impulse. One impulse. Okay? So can you imagine going to get a shot and then they stick you with the shot and then they leave it there for a few minutes and then they give you a shot and then they wait a few minutes and then they pull it out? Okay. Yes, exactly, Dee Dee. Oh, please, right? No, we want it one continuous thing. You know, that's why it's like, oh my gosh, really? You're finished? Okay. So the same thing we want with our body. So when we move as one, we rotate, we synchronize the upper and lower body with through timing, through timing, through timing. Okay? So anybody have any questions about this?
Yes, Shelley does.
Shelley does.
What is it possibly fair to say that when your arms close, we finish our step?
No, our step is not finished until we achieve the end posture.
Oh, because of the weight thing. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay, so to take your example, Shelley, I'm done,
No.
right?
Oh.
So it's not finished yet until we shift the weight and get into our proper bow stance, right? Where the weight is
right.
distributed correctly. Yeah. Yes. So this has to do with your controlling your lower body so that it moves to the end. Okay? Don't hold back and then flop forward. Okay? Oftentimes I see this when people come to ranking that are outside of our school. Or when I see other, videos of other people doing Tai Chi, I'm looking at this essential, and it sometimes I see people, holding their weight back. So just like if you walk like this. Okay. I'm still going to say this is not acceptable in Tai Chi, in what we're trying to achieve in Tai Chi. So, just like when you walk, we're continually moving, right? We're not holding our weight back. We continually move. So I want you to focus on this now. The first thing I want us to focus on is our timing. When our arms close, are you stepping? Then, after that, are you continuously moving forward? Are you synchronizing your lower body, working with the upper body, so that you can then have one breath to do this? Okay? To use your strike, to use the breath, and issue out your energy. Okay? Anybody have any questions?
No.
Okay.
How long does it take to get it down?
I'm sorry?
I just wondered how long did it take you before you could actually integrate all of this into your Tai Chi? Because I'm still working on number one.
Yeah. It's this is one of the things that attracts me to Tai Chi, is that it's never ending. The learning experience never ends. The experience itself never ends. It's just going outside, looking up at the sky, and knowing that that's Tai Chi, and I'm just this little part, and I'm trying to get all this incorporated into this. It's really a very big challenge. Now, remember what it was like for you, the challenge that you had when you were learning how to do the form. The first section, okay? Trying to. Well, okay. See, I'm just saying, Tai Chi is a continuous learning program where it just never ends. So for those of you that are in a hurry to implement all of the 10 essentials, then I hope you're practicing all day long, because that's what they did many years ago, right? Hundreds of years ago. That's all they did, was they practiced. And before, the master would teach a movement, and then you just did that movement for like forever, it felt like, maybe, until the master walked by and saw that he felt that you understood or got that movement. Then he would teach you another one. Then you just had one more thing to work on, right? So here it's not like that, because it's not so much about the martial part, it's more about the health part. However, these essentials are guidelines that were passed down to us, as that we should think about and try to incorporate it in what it is that we're trying to do with Tai Chi. This is taking it to the next step. So don't feel bad about yourself. Actually feel really good about yourself that you focus on one. Focus on one essential, keeping your head up. That's huge, okay? And this is one of the reasons why I don't talk about this first essential. Actually, I really don't talk specifically and mention the essentials when I'm teaching class. I will say them, but I will not call them out as an essential most of the time. But, you know, keeping your head up, because when you first are learning Tai Chi, we're doing this. Shift and turn to the right. Is your foot at 45 degrees?
Yep, that's me.
Okay. All right. So we continually break this first rule in our first 1 or 2 years or so of learning Tai Chi. Now when you get then it comes to, you know, memorizing the sequence. Okay, when you can memorize the sequence and don't have to look down anymore, then we have to imagine that there's an opponent. Okay, that's where the martial part comes in. Then we've got these essentials also going on. So yeah, no, it takes a while. It takes a while. And they say that when you're able to implement all 10 at one time throughout your whole form, and that all 10 essentials are there, now you're really, really doing Tai Chi. That's what some people say. Okay? I tend to disagree with them because, you know, for some of us, we want it for health reasons. And you do Tai Chi, and that's really great. And you should be getting benefit from that. Those of us that want to take it more and more and more, you know, deeper levels and things like that, then it gives us more things to think and work on, you know. You know, that doesn't say that, you know, just because you're doing Tai Chi, then you're not getting the benefit, because you are. Okay, any questions?
I just have to make a comment, Nancy. In your demonstrations of all the lack of timing, I have done all of that just with that one move. And now I'm thinking, am I still doing some of that one way or another? You know, first you're back, then you're 2 forward, then you're whatever, you know.
Sure.
It's just, wow.
Sure, because when we're in class, we go, okay, swing, step, brush knee, push. We ask you to stop.
Yeah.
We know that you aren't supposed to stop, but we teach it in a way in which you can have these Kodak moments so that you know your timing is correct.
Yeah.
Okay? So this essential has to do with timing, has to do with, you know, when your arms close, are you stepping? That happens simultaneously. And is your lower body working with the middle body and upper body so that it starts and stops at the same time? That's what this essential is all about.
So
Okay?
is this number 6?
Number 6.
This is number 6, synchronizing upper and lower body.
Yes. However, you can take any of the essentials that, you know, from 5 till 10, and you can mishmash them around. It doesn't have to necessarily go in this specific order. Okay. This is just the order, because what I like to do is, especially with the first 4 essentials, head, shoulders, chest, waist. I go anatomically down the body. Now we're at, you know, empty and full, legs. Okay, upper and body, upper and lower body, legs and upper body. Okay, so I like to take it that way, but you can you know, put them in any order that you like. Okay? Anything else? All right, let's practice. So the first thing I want us to practice, we're going to do ward off left, and we're going to do grasping the bird's tail. So from here, almost at the bottom, feet or shoulders width apart, palms flat in front of our hips. Don't make it too wide, just here in front of your hips, all right? We go to ward off left. So shift to the left, turn to the right. Shift to the right, circle your arms. When your arms close, step. Now move weight. Left arm up, right arm down. Okay, so we have this timing. Let's do that again. From here. Ward off, left, shifting, turning, shifting, circling, arms closed, step. Ward off left. Okay? All right, stay like that. Ward off right, back, turn, shifting to the left, open the arms, arms close, step, then ward off right. Okay, so let's do those two again. From almost at the bottom. Ward off, left, shifting, turning, shifting, circle, arms close, step. Left ward off. Right ward off, back, turn, shifting to the left, open your arms. When your arms close, step. Ward off, right. Okay, do you guys have this timing?
I think so.
Yes?
Mostly?
Mostly.
No? Not so much?
I think I do.
Okay, who's having trouble with this timing? Uh-oh, Shelly, really?
Well, no, I always get little, that arms closed. It's always, when I watch you, I swear to God, I think that you are starting your step, right? Before your arms get completely closed. You're actually making the step when your arms are closed.
Right, because I don't want you to do it like this. Ward off left, shift and turn. Arms closed.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, so I mean, I think I do it right, probably, 20% of the time, 40, 50, I don't know.
Okay, well, that's better than zero.
Yeah, it is.
Isn't it? Okay. All right, let's try it again. From here. Almost at the bottom. Ward off, left, shifting, turning, shift over, start circling your arms. When your arms close, step. Ward off left. Back, turn, shifting to the left, open your arms, arms close, step. Ward off right.
We say step, we mean touch the ground.
Yeah, don't put your whole foot on the floor yet.
We don't mean moving your foot, we mean that's when you touch the ground.
Thank you, Michael.
Okay, that helps.
Okay, so here's something else that I discovered. And I have to find out really if this is true throughout the whole form. And that is when, how do I explain this? Okay. All right, thinking about you, Shelly. Okay. When I circle this right arm, when this right arm is coming, I am, see how these are going together?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Synchronized.
Yes, okay. Then from here, see how this and this go together?
I can't do that.
Now I got to see if maybe that's what, sometimes you say we should do something and I realize that it's so comfortable to do it that way. That's why we kind of default to that way sometimes. Oftentimes I'm not following the directions correctly, but in some instances I am.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Okay, so let's try this from almost at the bottom. And let's go to ward off left. Shifting, turning. All right, shifting, circle, ward off left. Okay. Ward off right, back, turn, shifting to the left, rotate. Okay, then from here, close your arms and step. Ward off right. Yes, no?
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes?
Yes.
Okay. Now my next question to you guys is, let's do this again. And I want you to make sure you're breathing, okay? Are you holding your breath? Okay.
I forgot about that.
Okay.
Details.
All right. Okay. So ready? Shifting, turning. Circle your arms, breathing in, step. Breathe out. Back, turn, open your arms. breathing in, step, breathe out. So we know that our breath comes out when we issue our energy, right? So if you're holding your energy, good luck.
Can we do that one again with them practice the breathing?
So again from here. Shifting, turning. Circle your arms. Breathe in, step, breathe out. Back, turn, open, closing the arms, breathing in, step, breathe out. Okay, so I'm showing you this so that you can kind of understand how our breathing goes along with what it is that we're doing when we go to issue energy. All right. However, I don't want you to really focus in on this part. I just want you to just keep breathing while you're doing the form. When you get to the point where, if you're doing single movement practice, breathe in, breathe out. Okay? All right? So we know that when we go to issue energy, we're breathing out instead of breathing in. Okay? So when you go to open up your cupboard today, try breathing in. Okay, breathe in and then breathe out. Okay?
Refrigerator would be the best one to do
Yeah,
that with.
just make sure you don't when you breathe out to explode your energy that you don't break anything. Okay. Just know that when we do issue energy, we are breathing out. Okay. But when we're doing movements in the form, we don't want you to think too much about that. We just want you to keep breathing. When we're going in to do push hands and things like that, when you go to use your energy, then you will learn, to breathe out more when you're issuing the energy. But in the form, just make sure you continually breathe. That your belly through your belly, okay? That you're breathing naturally through your belly. The yin and yang of breathing in, storage, and release has to do more with exploding our energy out, or really utilizing the energy. Okay, so I did this exercise with you so you guys can make sure that you're not holding your breath, and that you know that when we store, we breathe in, and when we explode, we breathe out. Okay. All right, so let's try this again, making sure that we're synchronizing upper and lower body and that we are continually breathing. All right. Okay. Ward off left, shifting, turning. Arms close, we step. Go to ward off left. Ward off right, back and turn. Rotate, open up the arms, closing the arms, step. Ward off right. Turn, roll back. Press. Push. How's that? How was your synchronizing upper and lower body?
Good. It was good.
Anybody have any questions on this? Okay, let's go through the first section, and I'm going to, call out, close your arms, step, okay? So we'll start from here. I'll go here. No, I gotta go over here. Okay. All right, ready? Ward off left. When our arms close, we step. Go to ward off left. Ward off right. Remember, when your arms close, we step. Ward off right. Roll back. Press. Push. single whip. Step, rotate, strike. Raise hands and step forward, back and turn. Open, arms closed, step. Raise hands. White crane. Arms closed, step, turn. White crane spreads its wings. Left knee brush, rotate, circle back, swing, step, brush knee, keep moving. Push. Hand strums the lute. Stepping up and down. Rotate, circle back, swing, step for left knee brush. Right knee brush, back and turn. Swing, step, brush knee, push. Left knee brush, back and turn. Swing, step, brush knee, and push. Hand strums the lute. Forward, back, touch, rotate, circle back, left knee brush. Parry, block, and punch. Back and turn. Swing, step, swing, block and step. Then move forward to punch. Apparent closing up. Cross hands. When your arms cross, step. Then lift up. Go to closing. And finish. How's that, everybody?
Great.
Okay.
Thank you. Good.
Marion, you're doing bobblehead.
Well, so I think that I made some connections, like when you want to do the final arc of the final chop over, you should probably be putting your leg into position with your left as you hit it with the right. What was that? It's like
For cross hands?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait.
You know, we should, when we chop, all of our, pretty much most of our weight is on the right side.
So the left leg should be like your foot might be just putting itself into position as like the toe taps as your chop hit.
Yes, our foot should have pivoted so that it faces straight.
Yeah, so those would happen at the same time.
Yes.
And then same thing with bringing the arms together. Although you balance on one leg to get yourself in position, as soon as you step, that's when you're finally crossed.
Yes. Now, I just want you guys to know that I have a question that I've submitted to Master Yang, and I told them to wait until he's finished with the form to ask the question, because this is how he's taught it. This is how we've always taught it, that when our arms cross, we step. But I noticed that in some of his videos of late, that when he does it, he steps and his arms aren't crossed yet. So I need to, I want to make sure that if this is a change, that we adapt to that change, because we know that Tai Chi is all about being about adapting and conforming, right? So as soon as I get that information from him, then I will let you guys know. Okay.
There is a bit of a timing issue. I feel like with a parent closing up. I mean, I know what the moves are, but it doesn't really feel like there's a lot of timing in it for me. I'm not sure compared to the other moves, which feel like you're using your whole body. You're blending your arms with your legs, for example. I don't feel as much of that happening with that particular move.
Okay, so what I want you to think of, Marion, Michael, he's chewing his foot, he took his sock off. Okay, so from here, chop, chop. Close.
No, I mean with the one right before that.
Oh, parent closing up?
Yeah,
Oh, parent closing up.
yeah.
Okay. This actually is a fun movement. All right. So somebody pulls on you.
Right.
We yield, right? We yield.
Yes.
Then we need to trap them so that we can then get them off of our wrist.
Right.
Then we go like this and we push them away.
So the yin and the yang is basically between a little shifting in your body and some waist movement and the arms.
I'm sorry, repeat?
So the yin and the yang relationship in that movement has more to do with the waist and the arms. And there's a little shifting in, you know, forward and back, but not a lot.
There's not a lot per se. You know, we are moving forward. We are moving back. We are moving forward. So we are moving back and forward. Our slight movement forward is here. Then we move back. Then we move back forward into our bow stance. So we go from maybe 60-40 to 65-35 maybe. Then from here 70-30. Then from here to about 60-40.
Okay.
Does your left arm do a block on that towards the end before you push forward?
I would not call it a block. Come here, Michael. What I would call it is like a scissoring effect. Take this off. Okay, so you know, if Michael pulls me, the first thing we got to do is I'm not going to fight with him. I'm not going to do this. I'm going to go with his pull, okay? So that's the first thing we're doing is I'm going to go with his pull. Then from here, I'm going to rotate because I want his arm, his hand now to be in an awkward position. Then from here, I'm going to, you know, try to scissor him off my hand by using my wrist, and you know, now I've created my forearm to get him off. Okay, so we kind of put them in a bad position so that then we can kind of slip off. Then we can push them away.
Okay.
Here, let me have Michael show you. Okay, so maybe come this way. Okay, all right. So I go like this. He rotates. Okay. Now we say we want the minimum amount for the maximum effect. See, now I'm in an awkward hold here. Then. Okay, go ahead. Okay, see. All right.
Yeah.
So the thing that we say is we want to do very little so that we can get very much. So when he grabs, okay, come here this way. Okay, see how he's got his grab? And see when we yield forward and then we rotate our arm, because maybe come this way. Okay, so that I can do this. Watch his arm. See?
Right.
Now he's in a bad position. So I can easily do this. Sorry. Okay? So we get them in like this kind of a position so that they will, when we go to scissor them off, that they will come up. I would not call that a block. This is a block. You know, parry, block, and then punch.
Okay.
This is not necessarily a block. This is trying to scissor them off of our wrist.
Okay, that's helpful.
Yeah, that's simple.
Helpful.
Oh, okay, that's helpful. Okay. All right, that helpful too. Okay. All right. So, anybody else have any questions? Issues, comments? All right. Synchronize upper and lower. What does this mean to you? How are you going to implement this into your form now?
I have to be very centered and balanced, number one,
Okay.
before we begin. And I'm going to have to be slow in order to control all body parts, but not too slow. and I have to breathe, and well, at least most of the time, and I have to end at the same moment.
Okay.
Whenever I'm collapsing, whenever I'm gathering my energy in, my bottom, my lower legs are also putting themselves into place at that moment.
Yeah, generally speaking, this is true. Okay, so what I want you to remember is feet, legs, waist, arms, or hands. Okay? Feet, legs, waist, upper body, hands. Okay? So when one moves, all the rest moves. Nothing is stagnant. Everything is continually moving. We need to make sure we coordinate our feet, legs, waist, and hands and arms in every movement that we're doing.
And gaze.
And gaze, and keeping your head up, keeping those shoulders and those elbows down, right? Relaxing your waist, body shape. There's so much, right? There's just a lot. So this week, your job is to take the essential of synchronizing upper and lower body, timing. Remember, it's about timing. Are you starting and ending at the same time with your upper, your middle, and your lower body? Okay? And make sure you breathe. And I know that it's very common that when we're concentrating on things, sometimes the tendency to breathe kind of evades us. But when you notice it, then just breathe, okay? Just keep breathing. Because that's part of keeping our chi down. Allowing us to stay in a more relaxed body shape. Okay.
So Nancy, if you have all of these other things in place and your chi is low and down and all of that, and you're moving, and we aren't meant to be like huffing our breath out like we do in karate or something when you expel that energy. Does it happen more naturally because your body's flowing more? Between your breathing and your chi is down.
Just like everything else, it's a learned behavior. Especially for maybe us women, because we usually don't hit people. Guys, they wrestle and, they fight, but usually women aren't quite like that. Well, I know. But that's where single movement practice comes in. So where you can learn how to coordinate. Doing push hands. If you try to breathe in while you're trying to do an application, good luck. Okay? When you want to push something and you breathe in, you're actually going to go the wrong direction. So, yeah, we need the breath out. So whenever we're issuing energy, we always, generally speaking, we breathe out. Okay? And you can do that during single movement practice. When you're doing your whole form, don't think too much about that. Just think of continually breathing. Okay? Because we want that chi down, and we're not going to really explode our energy because there's an imaginary opponent in front of us. So we utilize the breathing more when we get to doing push hands and single movement practice. Okay? Any other questions? All right, go forth and synchronize your upper and lower body, everybody. Okay?
Thank you.
And I'll see you guys next week. Okay?
Thank you, Nancy.
All right, thanks, guys.
Nancy.
Bye.
Thank you. Have a fabulous week.
You too.
Stay warm out there. Cheryl, good job on those chairs. I loved it.
Sorry again. I just wanted to apologize again for interrupting class.
It's okay. No, that's nothing. I was just hoping you were, chopping some nuts or something, but.
Working on an ottoman. It's kind of in pieces.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Oh,
but
yeah.
You guys will see it in a week or two when I'm done.
All right.
I got an ottoman, but so sorry.
Yeah, if you guys need any upholstery done, Cheryl Kleiny's your lady to go to. All right. Okay, guys, I'll see you guys later.
Bye.